I'm Lana. Welcome to Lana's Lunchbox. Today we will be making DoubleTree chocolate chip cookies. Now let's get started. Lana's Lunchbox is a cooking show for kids. In every video, we find a recipe and make it together. In every video, we make, eat, and rank recipes by taste and difficulty to make. DoubleTree chocolate chip cookies was the first recipe I've ever made by myself, with adult supervision, of course. Now let's get the ingredients. The recipe says to do the wet ingredients first, but I always mix the dry ingredients first and put them aside so then the step with the dry ingredients goes quicker. So the first thing we're going to add is flour, and this is 2 1/4 cup of flour. Just add it into the bowl. Then we add 1/2 cup of rolled oats. I just touched my hair, so I washed my hands, and now I'm back. So next we add salt. We're gonna add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking soda. Then last, definitely not least, we add a little bit of cinnamon. Then we stir it all together. Once it's mixed, we'll set it aside. So I'm cutting up the butter because I was silly and I forgot to leave it out to soften it. So I'm going to cut it up and then put it in the microwave for a couple seconds until it's softened and not melted. So this step is to add softened butter, white sugar, and brown sugar, and cream them together in some kind of mixer. Then we'll add the sugar. That was 3/4 of a cup sugar plus a tablespoon. And then we add 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Then, next we're going to cream those ingredients together on medium speed for 2 minutes. I like to stop halfway to scrape the sides. Next, we're going to add eggs, vanilla, and lemon juice. I always crack my eggs in a separate bowl so I don't get any eggshell in my recipe. So let me tip this up and put in the eggs. And then we add 1/4 a teaspoon lemon juice. So then we add 1 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract. Next, we blend these ingredients for 30 seconds on low, and then we bring it up to a medium speed and for 2 minutes until it's light and fluffy, and occasionally we will scrape down the sides. Now I'm going to jump it up to medium. gonna add the dry ingredients and mix for 45 seconds. The recipe says don't overmix. It looks like cookie dough. Now we're gonna get the cookie dough out of the mixer and then add the chocolate chips. The recipe says to add 2 2/3 cups of chocolate chips and 1 3/4 cups of chopped walnuts to your cookie dough. That's too much for us, so we use 2 cups of chocolate chips and no walnuts. This is my favorite part. Time to mix it by hand. It's way easier to mix it by hands than to mix it with like a spatula. Just get your hands dirty like kids should do, you know. Oh my goodness, this is so gooey and so delicious. So, now that the cookie dough's mixed, we need pans and cooking spray. So next, we preheat the oven to 300 degrees. And the recipe says to use parchment paper on your baking sheets, but I just spray it. I just use cooking spray. And I always like to start with the big one first and then go down to the smallest one for some reason. And then we get 3 tablespoons of cookie dough for each ball, but I just estimate. And I grab some cookie dough and then I just make it into a ball about this size. I love cookie dough. I love eating it, but I can't eat it. The temptation is so big, but I'm not allowed to eat it. And then we take the cookie sheet, we just place cookies in the oven. I set the timer 20 minutes and see if they're done by then. Then we get the cookies out of the oven and we put new ones in. Now it's time to rate the cookies. I would rate them a 3 in difficulty, 3 out of 5, because they're difficult, because you have to do them for a certain amount of time. Plus, you also have to do it on certain speeds. So that's hard too. Time for the taste test. Just gonna be opening this first. It's like one of those cookies that are like super, like it's crispy on the outside. Then if you look on the inside, like it's all gooey. Let's see how it tastes. Not so good. Not so good. Best cookie I've had in so long. I would score these 7 out of 10. They're so good. Like, actually, 8 out of 10. Eight out of 10. Hands down, 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time on Lana's Lunchbox. Bye. The recipe says don't overmix. Pressing the wrong thing. I pressed the speed dial. Don't button. The recipe says to add 2 2/3 cup of chocolate chip cookie. Wait, what? Chocolate chips. It's chocolate chips, not chocolate chip cookies. You don't add chocolate chip cookies to the chocolate chip cookies. Okay.